So, are you all set? Ready to start investigating? Great! Then let's go! I've delivered packages all over, but I've never seen a mysterious fairy tale world like this before. Looks like nobody has gotten around to repairing this house yet. Ugh, even I wouldn't dare to sleep in there. It might suddenly collapse in on you. Nothing to see here either. Maybe we can find someone to ask? Aha! Over there! I bet we'll find some people there. Let's go take a look. Uh-huh. I was sure there'd be people here.
There once was a goddess who ruled over fate. Before she died, she left 3 riddles for the kingdom she had created.
What? Who said that?
Long story short, on this day, a sentient feline, an outlander, and a diminutive pixie arrived on the scene. They saw a narrow path off to the side.
Okay, but which side?
Yeah, if you gave ambiguous instructions like that to a Comania Express courier, they'd give you the parcel right back and tell you to write the delivery address more clearly.
Despite how obvious the answer was, the perplexed pixie and the flummoxed feline struggled to work it out. Although, perhaps a small part of the blame could be attributed to my dull narration. All right, let's try this again. The path on the left-hand side seemed to give off an enticing fragrance, as if to say, this is the way to wealth and glory.
Ooh, that sounds like the start of a good story. Then what? Then what?
At the end of the path, the motley crew would soon spot a secret stone room. A prophecy had once foretold of a marquis who shall one day venture inside, and thus it is... Are you sure you don't want to hear the rest? I'll keep this brief. Firstly, the place ahead of you is a secret room whose purpose, per the legends, is to await the arrival of a certain marquis. For that reason, it's called the future marquis's abode-to-be. Secondly, when you get inside, don't sit on the chair in the centre, or bad things will happen. There, that's all. Off you go.
So many summers, winters, springs, and falls, and now at last a hero hither strides.
This realm knows not what lies beyond its walls. Its secrets mystify the world outside.
Wait, new voices. Who are they?
With wood and earthenware strewn all around, the demon feline's fury can't be quelled. Reducing them to rubble on the ground, she finds the vessel's vacant save for... air?
She finds long gone the gems that once they held.
Are they describing how we broke the boxes and jars?
Who are you calling Demon Feline?
As golden sunlight fills the firmament, the tabletop engrosses your attent. Perchance peruse these pages thence. They surely represent no ill intent.
Why isn't she reading the files on the desk? Hey, Bobarano, maybe quit showing off and try using words she'll actually understand?
I can either rhyme like a bard, or I can curse like a sailor. And right now, Cape, you are seriously tempting me towards the latter.
Cape?
Captivated by the epic poetry and enthralled by the outstanding storytelling, the Outlanders knew what their next objective was. Namely, to remove the clockwork key from the raised platform up ahead.
Cape, I just realized you said we all had to speak like bards, but every time you open up your mouth, I don't hear any rhymes.
Yeah, I noticed that too. It's one standard for us and another for you. That's not fair, Cape. Perhaps the Outlanders are worried that something drastic will happen the moment they remove it. Maybe that's why they're investigating the area thoroughly first. Can't fault them for that. I'm wondering if we can take advantage of this now?
With wood and earthenware strewn all around, the demon felines.
Strong as stone, firm as steel, the Outlander pulls, it does not yield.
This has happened many times before, but this time is different.
The attack's now over. Only one final step remains.
Now it is the time.
But alas, as was the case for all those who had come before, the key still did not move an inch. Wait, what? They got it out?
Yes! Finally! Come on, move your butts! And your legs, assuming they're still in working order. It's showtime!
No hard feelings about your lack of poetic contributions?
Oh, let it go! Welcome, esteemed and noble Outlander. Allow us to introduce ourselves.
We represent the 3 great clans of this realm, having been selected as its authorized historical supervisors.
Our purpose being to await the arrival of one such as yourselves who shall remove the clockwork key.
My name is...
You're Cape, he's Albizzi, and that's Bobarano, right? You've done so much talking that we can already tell you apart by your voices.
Aren't we missing someone, though? The guy who led us here to begin with?
Who?
And thus was born the long-awaited Fellowship, destined to uncover the truth of the past. Allow me to quote, if I may, in the history of Constellation Metropole, a new page has begun.
Him.
Well, there's no fourth person, so which of you is the ventriloquist? Come on, out with it.
We've never heard that voice before, but he sounds like he'd be good at reading bedtime stories to children.
Well, whoever it is, I don't know and I don't care. Forget about him. We have far more important things to focus on. Like, where our journey goes from here.
That key you hold is the pivot point about which the past and present of the Metropole revolve. However, between our 3 clans, there is some dispute over the historical record.
Each clan has its own version of history, detailing the clan's origins and the tale of the dragon of old. And unfortunately, we don't know which one is the truth.
Dragon? You mean the one that's been acting up recently?
Oh, no, not that one, you adorable little pixie. When I say dragon of old...
He means a dragon that would be really, really old if it was still with us today, but it was defeated in ancient times. The new one has nothing to do with our clan history.
Was that supposed to be a joke? Anyway, so you've been waiting for someone to remove the key so you can finally explore the truth of the past?
Not just explore it, but argue incessantly about it. Honestly, I don't care that much. Cape's the one who's always bothering us about it.
What we need to figure out is who resolved the dragon crisis. We have to know that before we can decide which is the supreme clan.
The moment you removed the key from where it was lodged, you became the honorary Marquis. We humbly beseech you, noble Outlander. Noble traveler Marquis, we ask you to help us. You and your talking Puss in Boots and the pale floating pixie.
Puss in Boots? Are you serious? It's better than demon feline, but still.
Embrace it, my friend, embrace it. Most cats don't wear boots or speak, do they?
I'm not even a cat, I'm a Nekomata. Now that you know the word, I expect you to use it.
Please allow me to lead you all to a sacred memorial site. It will be much easier to explain what needs to be done once we are there. This place is sacred to my clan. It's where our brave forefathers once took up arms against the dragon of old. After a bitter battle that dragged on for many days and nights, finally, our forefathers fought the dragon into submission, and it fled. They took turns, though. Some forefathers worked the day shift, while others worked the night shift. So they say. It's just a legend, though.
Wait a second? Did I just hear you admit that your clan's history is just a legend?
History, legend, who cares? My clan was definitely courageous, that's the point. That's the truth. And isn't the truth what we've all been arguing about non-stop for all these years?
Capet's words gave the traveler food for thought. Could it be that the truth in a fictional world is equivalent to fiction in the real world? But that would have to wait. Apparently, Capet was not alone in his pilgrimage to this sacred site. Unwanted company had arrived. The traveler and the talking cat, Nekomata, decided to teach them some manners.
Settle down!
True display of heroism and valor. It was as if the spirits of my ancestors were... Your martial prowess and show of courage are a more vivid reenactment of my ancestors' feats that suit the modern aesthetic. Now, let's get down to business. As we all know, time is but an illusion. Time may flow line by line, page by page, or frame by frame, but usually it flows in the form of springs and gears.
And that clockwork key you have in your hand can turn back time and make the past reappear.
Well, actually, my view is that the illusion of time is more of a problem of consciousness. Gears power the body, while the body is the vessel of the conscious mind. But the mind cannot understand the dimension of time, so we experience instead an endless continuum of moments as the pinion of now turns along the rack of ages.
I'm getting flashbacks to when I was delivering packages to the Sumeru Academia.
A teacher once asked Albizzi what his greatest fear was, and he replied, dragons. Boberano was asked the same question. He replied, time, and repeated the argument we just heard. The teacher then turned to Capet and posed the same question. He replied, Boberano.
The manuscript that tells the truth of the historical record, the blueprint to all of creation, the work of the great mage themselves. It can be found at the beginning of the gear rack, and on the very first page of the book.
Paimon didn't follow all that, but basically, you're just saying that we need to put the key in and turn it all the way back?
Exactly. It is said that in the beginning, the goddess of creation took the goddess of fate's manuscript as a blueprint, placed it under the goddess of prophecy's starry realm, and generated the world from a few magic arrays. So in a few moments, when the great clockwork key turns the local time here back to the very beginning, we will restore the magic arrays back to their original configurations.
Hold on, isn't stealing part of the blueprint of creation a little dangerous? Also, how are we supposed to know the original configurations of the magic arrays?
Well, the general shapes of the configurations have been passed down over the ages. They now form the family crests of each of our clans. So you'll just need to reference my family crest and join the dots accordingly. To address your other concern, when the house has already been built, do you really think that taking away the construction crew and blueprint will cause it to collapse?
The Traveler Marquis prepares to insert the great clockwork key into the nearby keyhole.
I guess we should start here?
Why don't you give it another try?
Behold, the sacred writings that record the truth of... No, wait. That have shaped the truth of history. Gather round and let us bear witness. Feast your eyes, rejoice, and cheer, for this is the unquestionable truth. Look at the signature. Nobody is capable of forging that.
I don't believe it. So, all along, our histories have been false?
Don't lose heart, Albizzi. It does not follow from his is true that ours are false.
That might be the most bogus logic I've ever heard. But keep up the mental gymnastics, Boberano. I've been waiting for that look of jealousy on your face my whole life, and I'm gonna savor it.
And yet, it seemed that this conundrum could indeed have more than one solution. Everyone agreed that there may be more than one truth. The party decided to visit the sacred sites of the other clans and see what their documents had to say.
Isn't a narrator supposed to remain detached and objective? It feels like you're forcing a narrative agenda on us here. Well, whatever. I'm in a good mood. Let's do it. The instructions say to repeat the process 3 times, and besides, I'm looking forward to watching you both be sorely disappointed.
Let's do my clan next. I'll lead the way.
We'll need the key again, right? Let me see if I can pull it out. Yoink!
The party finds no pedestal in which to place the great clockwork key, only a locked door.
Where's your clan's pedestal? Let me guess, you hid it away in advance to save yourself the embarrassment of having it exposed as a fake?
You done? Okay. Now, since my clan's main claim to fame is...
Misinformation, half-truths, and fabrication.
Ah, shut up, Cape.
Shut up, Cape.
I swear, if I wind up dead one day, the murderer was Bobarano. Let those be my last words.
My clan's claim to fame is that we outwitted the dragon of old and stole its treasure. Ergo, all articles of value that we own, including the pedestal for the clockwork key, lie behind that door.
So, next step is open the door?
Almost. There's one step before that. The door is protected by a smart interrogation system. We have to answer its questions, and if we get them wrong, we will alert law enforcement.
Jeez. Well, do you at least know the answers?
The correction fluid of time has dyed white the pages of the Book of Wisdom. No, I don't know the answers. But worry not, I had a quick word with the constabulary in advance. They'll ignore the alarm if we get the questions wrong, so answer without fear.
Question 1. Who is it?
The great yokai, Nekomata in boots.
And the trusty travel guide, Pixie! Travel guide. Trusty travel guide!
Question 2. By which virtue did the ancients defeat the dragon?
Oh, no, don't say that. Even though the writings you saw do prove that bravery has its uses.
You do realize we can hear everything you're saying, right?
If you say it out loud, you'll only set those three off arguing again. Thinking it is fine, but please promise me you won't say it.
Question 2. By which virtue did the ancients defeat the dragon?
If this is the right answer, I swear I'll...
Correct!
What? A barefaced lie. So low.
Question 3. Which is more real? The fiction of the outside world, or the truth of this world?
Hear, hear! Who can be sure that the outside world isn't just a dream? And that when the dreamer wakes up, they won't just find themselves inside a novel? There is no way to know, therefore both are equally real.
All correct. You may have the key pedestal.
Traveler Marquis, you know what must be done. Please insert the great clockwork key. Oh, and this is my family crest.
Do we really need this one? let's pack it up.
The Traveller Marquee draws a design that is practical and aesthetically pleasing in equal measure. One thing it is not, however, is correct. I think you should take another look at Bobarano's family crest and have another go.
Now, let me see what...
What elaborate fiction the Clan of Wisdom was able to conjure up.
If anyone's listening, I would like to submit these as my last words. I surrender. I'm the one who murdered Cappy. Look! My clan's history is true as well! There's that same unforgeable signature again, right here!
What?
Oh, does this mean that my clan is the only odd one out?
Given that my clan's wisdom is such a subject of ridicule in your eyes, I will now appeal to my own personal intelligence, which I believe far surpasses that of my clan at large, and make a prediction. It seems likely that the claims made by each of our clans regarding their history and virtue are all true.
Bobarano? How can that be?
Oh, I get what's going on. Once, when I was drinking with Gujiyai, she bet me a round of dried fish that I couldn't guess which cup the umeboshi was under. Whichever one I guessed, I was always wrong, and Gujiyai would lift a different cup to reveal the umeboshi. But then, I learned later from one of the shrine maidens, Miyuki, that all of the cups had an umeboshi under them. Just goes to show, I still got a long way to go before I become a great yokai.
Oh, don't mind Fox Lady. That's just her way of teasing you.
Actually, that reminds me. We can now open these 3 treasure chests. And unlike the guessing game you mentioned, this one's not a trick.
Cool. Well, once you've plundered the last of Bobarano's family wealth, we can go to my clan's place.
Guess I'll take the clockwork key again then. Yoink! What a stroke of good luck! Quick, let's pack it up.
The cohort of truth seekers followed Albizzi to his clan's sacred site. They arrived to the site of a giant guard towering over them.
Up ahead is my clan's gigantified guard. He can be a little pig-headed, and he's incredibly strong. Your weapons won't even scratch him.
Wait, but wasn't Kappe's clan the one that's all about strength? So, what do you guys believe in then?
Oh, the guard is one of Kappe's people. Size is a coveted trait in the clan of strength, after all. Mine is the clan of empathy, and our key contribution is growth serum.
What's empathetic about that?
Our ancestors believed that, just maybe, the dragon of old didn't mean us any harm at all. Perhaps the dragon simply didn't notice us, since we are so very tiny. So, they drank the growth serum and grew even larger than the dragon. Then, they set the dragon down, calmly explained their perspective, and eventually taught it how to empathize. The serum isn't what it once was, though. Nowadays, it doesn't make you grow all that much, and it actually makes you lose your empathy. So, I advise we take a detour.
Despite Albizzi's words of caution, somebody, no doubt, has other ideas. Surely we could avoid a conflict with the guard, they think.
Everyone, I have returned. I come with the long-awaited Marquis and their followers to search for the lost origins of our clan.
Well, we weren't told anything about that this morning. Get out of here. Leave us alone.
You and Albizzi only wanted to strike up a conversation with the guard. But since greeting you wasn't one of the items included in today's schedule, the relationship quickly soured. If you're just looking for a way in, why not consider taking the path on your left?
Why is my own clan treating me like a villain?
You've been away too long. We all have. It feels like we've been waiting forever.
We should be getting close.
Why is this place so full of junk? Are you the kind of people who never throw away the box when you buy something because you're worried you won't be able to return it without the original packaging? We'll never find the Oracle Pillars in all this mess.
Never mind that. We have a more pressing issue. It seems there's a slight problem with my clan's family crest. The Marquis may need to utilize their wisdom to solve the issue.
Wisdom too, huh? Well, you guys have a bit of everything, don't you? Except empathy.
Keep the noise down! We don't want to alert the guard. go keep watch.
Can't you destroy the boxes a little more quietly?
Apparently that was incorrect. But don't blame yourself, it's Albizi's clan's fault for taking terrible care of their family crest. How could they let something so important get so dirty? Apparently that was incorrect. But don't blame yourself, it's Albizi's clan's fault for taking terrible care of their family crest. How could they let something so important get so dirty? Apparently that was incorrect. But don't blame yourself, it's Albizi's clan's fault for taking terrible care of their family crest. How could they let something so important get so dirty?
This is the last one. The signature. So it's true. Empathy is one of the founding virtues of Constellation Metropole, too.
Just as we suspected, all three are the truth.
Okay. Well, this is a lot to process. I feel a little empty inside. Yes, we found the truth, but there's too much truth.
I get you. It's like in Inazuma, when there were only 6 books in the Mirage Warrior series, it was really popular. But by the time book number 88 came out, nobody wanted to read it. They'd all lost interest.
A brief moment of joy is drowned out by a growing feeling of melancholy. But perhaps there is a glimmer of hope to be found too? Anyone? Anyone? All right, I'll say it. How is it the case that these 3 versions of history can all be true at once?
That's exactly what Paimon was wondering, but Boborano kind of already explained it away earlier. So Paimon was worried she'd look stupid for asking the question.
It's not a stupid question at all, my dear little pixie. While I did postulate that different truths may coexist, there is an issue when it comes to these 3 truths in particular. The problem is, all 3 truths are the history of the exact same thing, namely the dragon and the Metropole's origins. Yet all 3 bear the signature, showing that they're genuine.
Suddenly, the sound of a bell rings out.
The bell! It rang once! What does that mean again? Ah, yes! Highest level of emergency! Everyone, to the main entrance! Stat! Bring all the glue traps and place them outside the gates!
The whole city is on the lookout, and there's only one way out. It's the path right in front of you.
Why'd they ring the bell anyway? Also, why is 1 ring the highest level of emergency?
Obviously because you have to respond fast when it's an emergency. It'd be a bit too late if they waited till the 99th ring.
They're outside! After them!
Don't know if we'll still be needing this clockwork key, but I yoinked it out before we ran, just in case.
Okay, but back to the truth problem. There are 3 conflicting versions of the truth, and somehow they're all still true. What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. I doubt anyone here in Simulanka can make sense of it. All we do know is that any manuscript bearing her signature has to be valid.
Well, she is the goddess of fate, the creator of all this. And all these manuscripts are her grand design.
The reason we argued about who was right was that we didn't know enough about the truth of the past. But now we have the truth. So we just have to accept it. As surely as we will follow the clockwork path designed for us, so is this the course that history has taken. It is clear and incontrovertible.
We will never argue again. Thank you all.
Is that all there is to it? Is this where the decision made at the first crossroads of destiny has led us to? A pointlessly happy ending? Overthinking it would be equally pointless. Well, that's enough for one day. Time to take a break.
Could you be any more cryptic? You're planning something. Paimon knows it.
Whatever happens, today was a breakthrough in my journey of discovery. I will go back and share it with my clan.
Me too.
And me.
Let's leave it there for today then. I'm sure we'll find out what else Mr. Narrator has planned for us tomorrow.
What a beautiful day, thought the traveller, before she was overcome by a creeping sense of foreboding. The voice in her head grew louder. Must go to Pendulum Lane.
Pendulum Lane is just up ahead. Something must have happened here after all. Everyone's crowded around.
Oh my god, this is terrible! I don't understand. The three great clans of Constellation Metropole have finally made peace with each other. Who could have done this?
What happened? Oh no, someone's lying on the ground. Cappe!
How did this happen?
Cappe, you idiot! Wake up! You need to revise your last words or everyone's gonna start suspecting me!
Last words? What did he say?
If I wind up dead one day, the murderer was Boberano.
Ugh, you could have at least pretended to not remember it.
I'm sorry, Boberano, but this is an interrogation. I have to give the detective straight answers.
Don't worry, Boberano. I don't consider you a suspect, nor do I have the authority to charge anyone with a crime. So, are you the last people to have had contact with him? My sincere condolences. You were travel companions, right? It's a real tragedy. I'm afraid he'll be out cold for another hour and a half, at least.
Huh?
Yeah, I know. It's despicable. Hitting someone in the back of the head is the second worst act of cruelty there is. The first being replacing their gear oil with extra strong glue.
So, Cappe's not dead?
His gears, metal frame and shell are all still in excellent condition. It's just his energy supply that's been all messed up. Wait. But surely you can't be suggesting that just because Cappe isn't broken, there's no need to go looking for the culprit.
No! There's a need! Huge need!
Unfortunately, this is rapidly turning into a cold case. There's no evidence and no witnesses. Unless there's an official clockwork pedestal, the goddess of prophecy around here somewhere. Excuse me. Then suddenly the long-lost dragon of old flew across the sky.
Where?
I didn't see anything. Wait, why can't I move?
Oh, my mistake. It was just a cloud. Or a bird. Or something. If only we could turn time backwards and replay the crime.
Isn't that one of those, clockwork socket things right behind you?
So it is. No wonder everyone here is suddenly struggling to move. Traveller, if you please, let's recreate the crime scene.
Crime seems too chaotic. I can't make heads or tails of it.
My time with the Spina has taught me that carrying an unreliable weapon is worse than not carrying one at all.
Well, that clears it up. Cappe was walking along the street, then he suddenly collapsed. He was faking it.
What? So case closed? Aren't you supposed to investigate a little more first?
Well, we literally replayed the crime scene and saw it with our own eyes. There's no need for any evidence gathering or powers of deduction now. And besides, maybe the truth is inherently strange by nature.
Like how Constellation Metropole has 3 histories, each of which is the truth.
But didn't you say Cappe was struck in the back of the head and knocked unconscious?
For all I know, he could have bashed his head against the toilet bowl before leaving the house, then walked here in a daze before finally passing out. As for why he might have done that, my guess is... With the Supreme Clan question left unanswered and the tension in Constellation Metropole suddenly wiped away, he was looking to create a new source of conflict. Only then would the city feel alive again.
Do we really think he's capable of that, though? Sounds like a pretty complicated conspiracy for the average Simulanka resident.
Traveler, something about the crime scene isn't sitting right with me. It just seems unnatural. Also, anything outside of the immediate area won't have appeared in the replay. Is it possible that something was missing from the scene? Why don't we search the area?
Wait, what are you doing?
Oh, we're gonna head to Cappe's house to check the toilet bowl for signs of an impact.
There's a spear here. It looks so mysterious. Let's take it.
You're not from these parts, are you? Just visiting?
Yep, that's right. Why? What's up?
Well, I was gonna offer you a great job in the Titanium mines. A safe and secure working environment.
Doesn't sound very safe. At least not as safe as being a courier.
To keep the titanium ore intact, we use specially designed pickaxes that can't cut through it. Even if you struck a person with it, it wouldn't so much as leave a scratch. And in terms of labor intensity, the work has been rated as Class 2 physical labor by a reputable organization. Even cats can do it.
I'm not... never mind. I give up.
Welcome to Paimon's world.
Mind you, I don't know what happened today, but somehow a pickaxe has gone missing. Maybe one of the giant guards broke it down, so someone took it to perform a rapid resuscitation procedure.
Sounds pretty brutal for a first aid technique. Still, a missing pickaxe. Huh. Is it just me, Traveler, or does it seem kinda suspicious?
Come here. Whatever it is you were looking to buy, please do come back tomorrow. It's just, I have to close early today. A bottle of growth serum has gone missing. If someone's stolen it with the intention of harming others, the consequences could be disastrous. There's a whole investigation into it, so I gotta close the shop while I do an inventory count. If it turns out I'm wrong and I miscounted, I could be charged with filing a false report and disturbing the peace.
There's a strange potion bottle here. Looks so weird. Let's take it.